North Korea may be moving an intercontinental ballistic missile toward its west coast, where there are launch facilities. That's according to the Reuters news agency, citing a South Korean newspaper. It reports North Korea began the move last night to try to avoid detection. South Korean officials said on Sunday they saw signs Pyongyang was planning another missile launch. This all comes after North Korea's latest nuclear test. Scientists say it was the most powerful one so far. Greg Palkot, live in Seoul, South Korea. What do we know, Greg, about the possibility of a missile launch?
Well, John, the folks here in Seoul are watching very closely that there could be another launch of an intercontinental ballistic missile coming from North Korea. In fact, this place was rocked over the weekend by that very strong possible hydrogen device that was set off by North Korea. The seismic effect was felt in some areas near the DMZ, and now they're looking for a possible missile blast coming from North Korea, possibly on Saturday, John. It is an anniversary of the founding of this country, and a lot of times young Kim Jong-un, the leader of the regime there, uses holidays like that to launch missiles to set off some action. Again, this country has watched several ICBMs being blasted over the summer, July, earlier in spring and May, and watched another one go over its neighbor in Japan. So it's girding for the worst, John.
I know you've been to Seoul several times before. What's the mood like there now?
It's edgier, John, for sure. We've been talking to people here, and they say people, for example, are preparing plans that they hadn't prepared for before for the possible evacuation of South Korea, of foreigners, foreign nationals, in case of trouble. It's also a lot centered around President Trump, the Trump administration. There was a lot of hurt feelings, for example, that South Korean President Moon did not get a call from President Trump on Sunday, right after the nuclear device was tested. He did call on Monday, and he's been making up for it. President Trump has been talking about various measures to beef up the defenses here. But again, people are saying there are a couple of variables right now that weren't there in the past. First of all, Kim Jong-un himself, who was more active with 80 missile tests under his belt, 4 of the 6 nuclear device tests under his belt. The other wild card, John, to be honest with you, is the Trump administration. It's uncertain here how far Washington will go, both to defend the interests of South Korea and Japan, and in fact now that we see ICBM successfully being tested by North Korea to defend the United States itself. There's some concern here that the folks here will get caught in the middle. It's an unsettling time right now here, John.
Greg Palkot, live in Seoul, South Korea. Thank you, Greg.